Hey, good morning everybody, this is HD and welcome back. I'm here to bring you guys another StarCraft 2 broadcast, and I shouldn't say good morning actually. I just woke up guys, but it's actually like 2 p.m. right now, and my whole schedule is completely bonkers right now. I believe it's Tuesday, I could be wrong, don't quote me on that. And I'm sure most of you guys understand, hopefully you empathize with me, because as true gamers, man, we understand that we gotta stay up into the wee hours of the morning. We've got tons of responsibilities, a bunch of different things that nobody in the world knows how important it is that we need to do. We gotta play games, we gotta watch the GSL, we've got to do countless things, and so anyways, I just woke up right now, excuse me. I'll try to make this cast as smooth as possible. I do have a little bit of phlegm in my throat, but I'll try to clear it out as the day goes along. And here we go. I wanted to bring you this set because it's a special one. This is going to be IM.Seed versus MarineKing.Prime, and the real reason I wanted to bring this is because I watched the GSL last night and I watched Seed play against Symbol, and I was so impressed with this Protoss player. He's really, really good. I wanted to bring you another set of games from him on my YouTube channel, and here it is. It's going to be Seed versus MarineKing.Prime. And Seed is a big-time Protoss player right now, extremely talented. And, you know, MarineKing kind of been slumping a little bit. He's not as good and not as dominant as he used to be, but he's still a very good Terran player, obviously. And I think this should be a pretty good match. It is going to be a best-of-3, and it is from the IPL 5 Korean Regional, so pretty excited here to see who's going to take this set, and should be pretty interesting. The map is Cloud Kingdom, and the thing about Terran versus Protoss is it is a lot of build-up, I think, in the first 5 or 10 minutes or so, because a lot of times you don't want to play an aggressive style in TVP because both races are so good at defending. You've got the Terran player who obviously is good at defending with the walls and the bunkers and all that stuff, but you've also got Protoss who can get an early sentry out, and they can force field the ramp and just protect themselves against everything that Terran can throw at them. So a lot of times it will go into 2-base scenarios before you see any type of aggression from either side. So I'm expecting to see that on Cloud Kingdom. It's a big map, and I'm expecting to see both players opt for a pretty fast expansion here. We do have MarineKing going for 2 racks before expand, it looks like. And this is a little bit more aggressive and a little bit, I guess it's both aggressive and safe, because you can do a little bit of pressure off of 2 racks. It's very uncommon. I guess it's more safe than aggressive if you really think about it, because the reason why you get 2 racks is to protect yourself from anything like a 4-gate or 3-gate or 4-gate pressure off of 2 bases, or any type of pressure that Protoss can apply. So we will see MarineKing get the command center down, but not before he gets a little bit of marine support and firepower on the ground. Meanwhile, it looks like Seed here is going with 2 gases rather than going for 1-gate core expand, and he's probably, yeah, there we go, robotics facility on the way. So he's going 1-gate robo here, which is fine. You know, 1-gate robo, you get the early observer out. The whole purpose of it is to figure out what the Terran is doing, and then you kind of contour your build after that. If you see an early expansion, then you want to obviously get an expansion yourself. You don't want to fall behind. Usually Protoss wants to try to stay a base ahead of Terran if possible, and the other advantage to that is with the early robo, you can also get Immortals out. It's kind of optional. It's really expensive off of 1 base, but if you get some more Immortals out, you can protect yourself from something like a Marine Marauder push. And it does look like we have Marauders coming out right now, along with the Stim Pack upgrade coming on the Tech Lab. So I'm expecting to see Seed go for the expansion once he scouts out the command center on the low ground. It's a little bit later than, say, going for 1-gate expand, but it does let you get some more tech out, and it does allow Protoss to defend against aggression from the Terran player, as well as make counterattacks. And we'll see what happens. The Observer is starting to make its way out on the field right now, and it is probably going to be able to make it all the way over to the Terran side, and I don't think that MarineKing, I don't think he's going to be able to save energy for comsat. There we go, he just dropped the meal down. So the Observer is pretty much going to fly in without getting attacked at all, and that's good for Seed. He's going to have complete vision over what MarineKing is doing, and MarineKing right now just going to is going to chill in front of his base right now with his Marines and Marauders. Does he see the blur? Because if he does, he might be inclined to save a little bit of energy on his next round of 50 to drop that scan down. Seed now, seeing that there's an expansion down, is going to go ahead and throw down a Nexus of his own. And he does have one Immortal on the field. And Immortal is going to help so much, man. I mean, Immortals are key in almost every matchup now. They are such good anti-armor units. And, you know, you thought the Marauder is really good against killing off armored units. Well, the Immortal is like the next step ahead of that with the shields, with the 50-something damage per shot. I think it's 55. No, it's 50. 55 with +1 weapons. And, you know, Seed cutting Immortal production, which I like. You know, you don't want to get more than 2. 2 is pretty much the limit. I think right now he's only got 1. Yeah, he's only got 1. And he cuts Immortal production so that he can throw down a Twilight Council and he gets Blink. So he is going to go for a mobile version of PVT here. And, you know, the thing about Blink, I actually much more prefer getting just Charge Out Archon against Terran. Blink, you know, Stalker's really not the most best unit. I guess that is not grammatically correct, I know. But it's not the best unit against Terran. Because Marauders own Stalkers and Marines own Stalkers. You know, they both kind of, it's like an ownage on the left and an ownage on the right. And it's a very tough unit to work against Terran. But we'll see if Seed is going to be able to pull this off. The one thing on Cloud Kingdom is with Blink Stalkers, you can get over here and then blink into the main. But it's very hard. Once a Terran has a third command center at that pocket location, it's very difficult to pull off. And we do have Marine King here pushing out with his Marines and Marauders. Do note that he has rounded out his upgrade tree. He's going to finish Concussive Shells and Combat Shields, and he's going to have 2 Medivacs during this attack. So it's a pretty strong attack here, but look at what Seed's got. He's got 2 Immortals and 5 Sentries on the field. That's a ton of force field energy, and before Marine King can even get up the ramp, he has to blow through the rocks, so that's going to allow Seed even more time to get more units on the field, and I really don't think that Marine King is going to be able to do much damage. He's going to poke at the front and probably not going to commit into this many Immortals and Sentries. It would be quite suicidal. And Seed even feeling kind of confident here says, hey, I got plenty of units here. I can definitely make something happen. And just chilling on the high ground for now, warping in a couple more Stalkers. That Factory flies in. The declaration of war has begun. And I don't think Marine King really wants to lose his flag bearers, so he's going to pull it back and wait for a better time, I think. And you know what? Expanding behind the aggression, allowing more Medivacs to rally over along with Marines, and this is what Terran can do, is start to drop into the main base. This is something that old Protoss fear, and Seed has to be careful here. His units are out of position, and all the Medivacs are going to fly right in. Oh my god. And he has Blink. That is what you have to be careful about as Terran, and that's how you can counter Medivac drops. And, you know, Seed kind of baiting that in, but he only picked off 1 Medivac, and there's still a ton of Marines and Marauders on the ground. Kills off the Robo Bay, and is going to go after the probes in the mineral line. Oh, it's a devastating loss here for Seed, and Seed has to be careful. Can't lose the Nexus. He's going to go after the Medivacs, but as a result, the Nexus is going to go down, and boom, it explodes. And Seed now has lost his Nexus, and really at this point, when you lose your main base like that, and you lose your Robo Bay, but you've killed off a significant chunk of the Terran army, there is only one thing to do, and that is counterattack. There is no trying to transition out of this. He may try to rebuild the Nexus and re-macro behind the aggression, but you know what? I'm all for just throwing the entire kitchen sink at the Terran player. Screw it. Bring some probes, build some pylons, warp in as much stuff as you can, and it looks like Seed is going to go for the all-out counterattack. Now, if we look at the army supplies here, MMA has been able to re-macro pretty quickly, and his supply is now ahead of Seed, so I don't know if Seed's going to have enough to bust through this, but, you know, just looking on the map here, Seed's army certainly looks a lot stronger. He doesn't have upgrades at all, neither does the Terran player, but the force fields are really good, and they were able to cut some of the Marines off. I guess they weren't perfect, but more force fields coming down, kind of whiffing their targets. Seed now pushing in with his Blink, and it's going to force Marine King to pull all these SCVs out of the mineral field. Now, if Seed can get a lot of SCV kills here, there's a possibility we can transition and stabilize this matchup, but right now it is highly volatile, and Seed knows, man, he's got to deal a lot of damage here, otherwise he's going to lose this game. He cannot sustain the war on one base, and the force field's pretty decent, but you know what, the high ground advantage for MMA, or for Marine King, excuse me, just too superior, and as long as Marine King stays on the high ground, as long as he keeps his Medivacs alive, and he plays this warfare style out, he can win the battle because he's got more economy behind his army. And look at this, Great concave from Marine King. Gonna take out a bunch of sentries, and you know what? Just play that kind of whittle down battle style, guerrilla warfare. Take out the key units, the immortals, the sentries, and then pull back because you've got better macro than your opponent. And eventually, you know, Seed's just going to be left with stalkers. And remember, stalkers aren't very good against marines and marauders. So that is going to be it. And Seed GG's, very nicely done by Marine King, and I'm a little bit surprised. You know, I was watching Seed yesterday and I was like, wow, he's really talented, taking out I guess now it's okay to spoil. If you guys want to close your ears, but Seed did take out symbols. So I'm a little shocked here that Marine King was able to take him down. So we'll see what happens in game 2, if MKP can close it out or if Seed is going to make a comeback. So see you guys there, and this is HD signing out.